Hello and welcome to Sim Racing Online for round 4 of the Xfinity NASCAR Road Series, hosted by John Vandergeest from Gear. Today we are in Alberta, Canada, at the infamous Edmonton Indy, a tight, less than half-mile track, full of twisty turns and brilliantly long straightaways. There's a few players in this today, but it's really coming down to the nitty-gritty with the points. There's a point. The point leader has changed a couple times in this. I'll give you a little bit of season standings here. Johnny Gutierrez took over first place after last round over John Vandergeest, and you can see the spread is pretty tight. It's 5 points between first and second, and then only 1 point between third and second. And Balaz is actually tied with Pablo at 86 points. So there is a tie for fourth place right now. So this round is really going to decide who's who in this event. This is going to be quite the tight challenge. So we just got a couple minutes of practice here and we will be moving into quali. Get an idea of what kind of laps these guys are doing. So this 0.44 mile circuit, it's basically at Edmonton Airport. It's in the Alberta. Originally they had the Rexall Grand Prix of Edmonton here in the Champ cars. That was back in '95. And they had a few rounds there, and I think by 2010, I think the racing pretty much stopped here. But again, in 2012, I believe they tried to bring it back for another event. And then after that, they just ran out of sponsorship. So the event just kind of fizzled out. But with that said, it looks like we are going into quali. We got our first look at what these guys are going to do here. Waiting for the green light. Okay. It looks like Tony and Johnny are in the sister cars, although they're not teammates. They do share the same liveries. So we'll get a good lap of this. Good look at a lap on this track. Let's check it out, what it looks like from on board here. You see this thing is just tight, hairpins, and this actually here is like almost a cobblestone part of the track. A little bit less traction. You'll see a little dirt kick up here and there, and it's really going to test these guys today on, you know, braking and accelerating through these, using those curbs to their advantage. Just nothing but a twisty mess until you make the turn, and then of course you're down the long straightaway from the runway, and you can really hit the gas, see what these cars can do, only to head into more hairpins at the end. So it's going to be a good challenge. Here's the final turn onto the main straight. There's going to be a lot of action right here. And let's see, the timer's going to start here for Tony. Let's see what kind of lap he can put off here. This is a 15-minute session, so the guys have plenty of times to get out and change tires, put some laps in, find their marks. And then the races have been shortened from 60 minutes to 45 minutes for the last 3 events. Just as things tighten up here. We're not sure what the weather's going to do today. It does look like there is some clouds in the area, but I don't think we're going to have any rain. I think these cars have windshield wipers, but I'm not sure. I don't think there's going to be any. It never rains in Canada, does it? I don't know. And you can see the way these guys just whip these cars around in here. And these cars are so much fun to drive. They're a handful, but it's a controllable handful, so, you know, once you get a couple laps under you, you really get the hang of it. And it's extreme fun. All right, we could get our first time here. Let's see what happens as Tony crosses the line here. And I'm curious to see what Gutierrez is going to have. There we go, a 128.8. So far the time to beat. Nice lap there, Tony. Let's check on Johnny and see how he's doing. I think he's right behind him. Just a little bit behind him. Just about half a second, so we'll check out Tony here and see if he can improve on this on Tony's side. Look at the way these things just bend around those turns, especially in that infield section where it's a little bit different tarmac. I did a couple practice laps here just to check the course out, and it's an intense battle. I mean, when you have to stay on it, oh, it's Gutierrez sends it wide a little bit there. He's just heating up the tires. He's just getting ready for some action. And we are missing a few drivers today, but hopefully they might pop in before the end of quali here. It is a 15-minute session, so. But these guys are going to battle it out for this championship as it is so tight. Oh, it looks like Gutierrez has given up on his lap. All right, well, let's go check on Pablo then, see where he's at. Pablo in that 89 car. It's about a second and a half off the pace so far after his laps. Let's get a look at here. At this turn one hairpin, it's just, you're hard on the brakes. Just keep it off the wall. Oh, just barely. That little chicane there, you just kind of straight line that, but you got to kiss the wall a little bit there. Into yet another U-turn, not quite as hairpin as the last one, but quite the U, then into the other section. Oh, and he's off into the grass. All right, well, that's it for his lap. Let's see how Paul's doing. Looks like Paul might be out there on one. On that old number 3 livery. Brings back some memories of Dale Earnhardt. It's a great looking car. You can see these guys just getting the tires hot on these cars. And it looks like Vandergeest is kind of hanging out in the pits. Maybe he's waiting for the last minute, or he's just happy to start in the back and see what happens. This twisty track. Yep, a little kiss off the wall for Paul there. That's all right. Let's get a lap started here down the main straight. Ready for takeoff. Let's check this steering action in here. A lot of throttle steer with these cars. It's man and machine versus the track with this mod. It's really fun. Not a lot of downforce. You know, it's just see the car, drive the car. Look at this just section of endless S's. That's just crazy. Looks like his sector 1 time is off, and see, uses the rear a little bit there. Even with the 45-minute race, I still believe they're going to need 1 pit stop. I don't know if a full tank of fuel will get them all the way to the end. If it does, the tires might be pretty tired by then too, so especially the way this track is. So we'll just have to see how it pans out as Paul comes across here. It doesn't look like he's going to better his time being yellow in the first 2 sectors. A good lap nonetheless. Let's see if Johnny's back out there yet. He's known to pull a rabbit out of his hat here. Looks like here he is. Looks like he's green in sector 2. There's 2 tenths down in sector 1 with 5 tenths up in sector 2. So this might be it. The difference is only 6 tenths. So let's see what he does across the line here. We'll check him out on this next lap. Oh, he didn't better his time. Bettered his sectors, though. Yes, the timing delay might update here, but it looks like he's still sitting in Q2. But this could be the lap right here. Let's go. We're down to 6 minutes. As you can see the scrolling time up top. It's a pretty cool feature. I'll get it up there for you again. Kind of watch them as they go. Off the curb. He's gone purple in sector 1. So here comes Gutierrez. Can he hold on for the rest of the lap? As he drifts it around the turn. Very nicely done. Coming up to that final hairpin. Well, we got a little more cloud cover and he keeps it off the wall. This could tighten it up right here. Oh, he just shaved a tenth off. Oh, he's going to have to do a little bit better. He's staying out there. As he bends it around these turns into that sort of, it's like a different type of tarmac. It's not cobblestone, but it's just probably some grade A Canadian gravel we got in there. He's gone purple in sector 1 again. This is Johnny at his best, man. This is what he does, man. It's like semi-drifting the car. He always has a pretty loose setup. I've gotten a few setups from him in some other races, and he likes that car pretty loose. His setups were a handful for me, but they're quick, but, you know, I'm not quick, so it doesn't really matter. And that middle sector, still he's maintaining in there. He's a little bit over his quickest. He comes down, see what he can do here. Close that gap between Tony, who's just set a pretty impressive lap there, that 128. Oh, caught it down to 1/10. Purple in sector 4, and it looks like that's going to be it for those. His tires might be shot, but man, what a good battle trying to put him in place. Let's take a look at LaBelle here. I want to get a look at him. He's in this red livery. It's a good-looking car. You know, being off the pace here doesn't necessarily mean anything in this race. This is a battle of survival, so, you know, there's nothing wrong with staying out and hanging out, you know. I know, being a professional bottom feeder myself, you know, if you can finish the race, you might be able to place, you know, higher than you started. You know, you don't have to be the quickest to win a championship. It's been proven many times, so. consistency pays off, especially with this mod. You got to keep this baby on the track. That's a good looking car. I don't know if that's Johnny or perhaps Tony behind him, but it doesn't appear to be holding him up at this point in time. I think it probably was Telvite. He was probably just laying off to create a gap. That number 9's a good looking car. I like that. Nicely done. And it looks like Vandergeest is finally on track, so get Miguel out of the hairpin here, and someone's heading into the pits, so and they both are. Let's pick up Vandergeest and see where he's at here. And that looks like the green candle. Look at that thing. Almost a Monster Energy style. Let's see, John was pacing himself in the pits there. He was probably calling his girlfriend on the phone or something, who knows. Ooh, as he lifts a couple tires off. This is pretty tight though. These guys are within 2 seconds, the top 4. And he's none the better in Sector 1, but he's still got a minute left if he can cross the line and get one more lap out of this. But again, I think pole position is important here, but I don't think it's going to really determine the winner. There's just too many variables at this track with all these turns. I keep waiting to see a 747 trying to land over here, this runway. Well, he's green in Sector 2, but as you can see, he's off a little bit in the first sector, so that could be it for Mr. Vandergeest. That could be it for all these guys. It looks like they might have set their laps. Let's check on Paul. I think he's still out there in that awesome number 3. And he's only 2 seconds off the pace too, so he's right in this thing too. So, again, these cars now. As the final seconds of quality tick down here, I think the order is set. And I don't really see a clear finish line here. I think it's just the lights right there. That must be it. And there it is. All set. So there's your order. You can see. Again, we're going to look at the results here. So here's what's at stake. Johnny's got that 5-point lead over John, and then it's a 1-point lead for second. And then there is a tie, like I said, with Pablo and Balaz. So this is going to be an interesting race. We're going to see who's who in this. As we have a 5-minute break here. You guys are going to go out for some. Probably put a little bit of fuel in the car, see how they handle again with the full tanks. It's going to be tough for these sister cars to see who's who. We're going to have to keep watching the name tags here. But hey, Televite is after that lead in the series here with a win in this. I could move him up. It only shows the top 4 scores, so I'll have to look on the website to see exactly where he's at. Let's see what we got here. So this track is actually in downtown Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And like I said, it was formerly, the first one was called the Rexall Grand Prix. You guys, you Euro guys probably don't know it. Any Rexall doesn't ring any bells, but it used to be a big department drugstore here in the States. Now they've been replaced by what's Rite Aid and things like that, but it was a pretty large convenience store where you could also get prescriptions, and they were all over the US, so they were able to sponsor that IndyCar race. Temporary circuit, you know, they tear it all down after the races and planes can land again. So you can see it's only 6.56 kilometers per lap, just under half a mile. We get some things set here for the race. As I'm learning this broadcast software here, it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of nice stuff. I should be able to set us up so it rotates on the tower, showing the gap to the leader, how many pit stops. So I'm setting that up now so in the race we can see that stuff. Number of stops and gap to next. Yeah, it should do it. We'll set it up in the tower mode so we can see the times. And I've hopefully got the replay situation a little more under control. No promises though. Who's out there? Okay, yeah. It's Pablo. Pablo has a chance to sneak himself in here, you know, in that tie for fourth. With a good finish today can move him up into the podium with 2 left after this. As you can see the schedule coming up. Today we're at Edmonton Disney. Next up is Watkins Glen. And then we're going to finish at Laguna Seca, another twisty track with the corkscrew. So it's going to be a battle to the end with these cars. Those are some pretty tough tracks. Laguna Seca to finish on too. It's going to be interesting. All right, we're down to getting ready to change the session here. We will be racing. Now we are going to have a formation lap. It's going to be 1 full lap at pace, and then when the leader crosses the line, the race is on. And with this short, tight field, it should be a lot of action. So. As the drivers get ready here, get their final few seconds of peace and quiet before it all starts. See a little bit of wind out of the north there. Probably not going to affect the cars too much though, as we slide into the next section here.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Alright, and here we have our starting order. Start off on the formation lap here. While we got the time, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and remind you tomorrow's race, the multi-class series at Fuji, the GTEs and the P2s, 90 minutes at Fuji, and that will also be live broadcast. We also have an RF1 event on Monday. If you're into the old school RF1, Ken Jagger's hosting Formula cars, or old school Formula 1, I believe it is, on Mondays. And then Tuesdays, Automobilista, we are doing the 74 Porsche Cup at Bathurst. So it's the Porsches on the mountain. That's going to be quite the battle. And then coming up next month in April for Automobilista, we have the IndyCar series, which is already starting to fill up. So have a look at the schedule. And if you have Automobilista, you might want to get into that. I think we have about 17 already signed up. It's going to be an awesome event. Should be 6 races, a series of 6 races. Easy for me to say. It looks like we got clear skies for the race. There we go. So look from the back of Tony's car. It's kind of a cool view. Alright, as we hit up to the line, wherever that line might be, but they are lined up side by side. Looks pretty tight. Looks like a good start. And here we go. Let's go. And they are off. We are racing. Oh, Johnny tries to move to the inside. Vandergeest coming to the outside to make a move. He's got the inside line. Vandergeest going for a shot for the start. Oh, if he can hold the turn. Puts himself in the lead. That was a great start by John. Very nicely done. Very awesome run there, Mr. Vandergeest. Stretching his legs. Look at sneaky John. Hiding in the pits, half a quali, comes out and takes the lead into turn 1. Great job. With Pablo taking it with him. So the 2 pole sitters find themselves battling for 3rd and 4th, it looks like, in this place. Actually, 4th and 5th. As Paul has found himself up in 3rd place. But like I said, this is a long race. Things are going to get buzzy here. And the pace of those leaders is going to catch up, after the first 15 minutes or so. Wow, that is a great. Let's see what we got back here. It's Tony putting the pressure on Paul. He's already making a move down the back straight. I tell you, you have to respect these turns here. You can find yourself into the wall in no time. As Vandergeest sets the first fast lap of the race. Oh my God, what a jump he took on the inside there. Did he outbrake himself? He certainly did. Oh, that cost him a couple spots. Moving Salvite into 3rd place. Michael holding steady. And let's up him. bringing up the rear, but staying, you know, within the zip code of 5th place there. Consistency's the key here, so anything can happen in this race. And we have a battle here for that last podium spot. Gutierrez. Pablo all over Talvita. Tony goes wide. Pablo's holding that inside. And Tony, can he get it done? Can he get it done? Oh, that was a pretty tight turn there. It's Tony holding 2nd place. Pablo coming back again for the attack. As Vandergeest just kind of cruises out in front, it's loving that these guys are fighting back here. It's just like, let me increase my gap, baby. Let's go. Let's see how it looks like with Pablo's. And Johnny just... with Tony in front, and you can see Vandergeest up there. I think Talvita's got Vandergeest in his sights now. Got an onside battle going back here, and Johnny makes the move on Pablo and gets that in place. So like I thought, you know, these guys, they had such good pace in qualifying that, you know, get them a couple laps, get the tires hot. Pablo is in no way giving up on this. He has got the inside line and he's making a charge here. Great driving by these guys. These guys are keeping it clean. You know when to lift, you know when to push. Let's see what's going on up here with less than a second gap. As Tony is just stalking Vandergeest, and he has caught him now. John is going to have to do everything he can to keep Tony out of that spot. This could be it. He's getting the draft going into the last part of the hairpin. He's going for the outside. Vandergeest holds his line inside. It's going to be tight. Oh, the over-under. Yep. And Vandergeest keeps him out for the wall. That was a great move. Squeezed him a little bit, but a fair move. We're completely allowed to defend, but man, Talvita's just got that straight line speed too. John keeps it out in front here as we head back into the twisties. Let's turn it into a heck of a battle here. Gutierrez has caught the pack. We have a 3-way race here for the lead. Pablo remaining steady back there. Let's take a look from Johnny's point of view as they head into the tarmac. You can see these cars. These cars are so fun to drive. I really encourage you guys. There's plenty of room in this series, and I encourage anybody that's even thinking about it just to jump in and drive these cars. You know, once you do a couple laps in them, you won't want to stop. They just, the way they feel, the way they react, the way that you can control them. Throttle, steer, brake, everything. It's really, 397 did a great job with this mod. It's just a hidden gem. As we have, Tony is saying, it's time, bro. I am coming for you. And Gutierrez is right on him. Oh, Tony has the inside now. John's getting pushed to the outside. This could be it as they head down the last straight. I think he's got him. John's hanging tough, though. He's battling out on the inside. The tighter line pays off, I think. Vanderick is holding it by a nose. Oh. Looked like a slight little bit of contact there. No harm, no foul. As Gutierrez tries to sneak by on the outside. Vandergeest holding his own, holding these two guys off that are just foaming at the mouth to get past. John has got his deflector shields up. So we look back from Johnny's car and from Vandergeest. Here's what Vandergeest is seeing in his mirrors. Nothing but Johnny and Tony just breathing down his neck. He is maintaining his gap, though. I got to give it to John, man. He is maintaining the gap for now. But that draft, these long straights give you plenty of time for a draft in these cars, and that could play a part here in the passes. As you got, I mean, they are slowing down. We'll have to check, get on that inside view and see actually how slow they have to slow down for that last hairpin. But it looks like they're slowing down to about 25-30 miles an hour from 140. Or however fast these cars go. Maybe they're not that fast. But wow, John seems to be able to maintain that gap in a straight line. So, you know, I think his advantage is horsepower at this point. These cars are evenly matched, but there's not a lot of downforce or anything you can put on these cars. So I think it's just timing, getting out of the turn, getting on the throttle fast. Whoever gets on the throttle first is going to lead it down the straight. As Vandergeest is holding his own, man, he is not going anywhere. He is making these guys work. Let's check back in the field right now. John's got a little bit of a gap. Check on oh, here's an off that we're having right now. Paul finds the slippery stuff. Gets it back on track. Where's Michael at? Michael staying steady in 5th place. I mean, just hang out. If he can just hang out, you never know what these leaders are going to do. But let's get back to this top lane action as Vandergeest holding it down the main straight. Curious to see what these guys. Oh, we got some smoke back there. Was that Pablo's car? I don't know if that was engine smoke or tire smoke, but he might have a problem. Let's check Pablo. It looks like he's okay. So go back to this action. But I did see some smoke coming out of this guy. Wow, this is intense. Vandergeest just holding that pace, still just fighting off Gutierrez, who has gotten by Tony. But I think these positions are going to change a couple times. Let's see from Tony. Pablo on his tail and sees the gap to the leaders. I'm sure Tony won't have any problem closing this gap. Must have been a slight mistake somewhere. Gutierrez. Let's see now. Tony couldn't get by John on the straight. Let's see what Johnny can do here. Johnny goes to the outside. He's trying to get that big swing. Vandergeest defending from the inside. Get that tighter circumference and maintains the lead. Race here for this podium. Something's got to give here. As Gutierrez goes for that inside move. He's off the curb a little bit. Oh, that little bit of bounce. I think he might have had it without that bounce. Sometimes the curbs are your friend, sometimes not. Vandergeest maintaining that lead. He was the round one leader, and I think even after 2 rounds he might have been first place. So I think it's had a couple misfortunes in the last couple races that took him down a little bit. Otherwise he was leading. As we have our first pit stop. Tony is pulling in, so tires perhaps. This could be at the 30-minute mark. It's like Tony's got his strategy set here. He's coming out with fresh rubber for the rest of the race. Curious to see now what the leaders are going to do. It would appear that Tony is going for the undercut. If he can get out and get those tires heated up. You know, as long as he doesn't have any mishaps in his pit stop. Let's check on Pablo. You can see the gap to the leaders that Pablo has here. Pablo's running a pretty clean race so far. Just got to keep in touch with these guys. With anything can happen, as you can see on these turns. Let's see if Paul back here in the section. Paul. He's got LaBelle on his tail. There's the gap for 4th place. LaBelle's staying in touch with Upham. As he has a little fun with the car there. Just this series of it's just a constant series of S turns after these long straights. All right, let's see what we got here. Vandergeest defending into turn 1 still. Gutierrez just keeps the pressure on. He's relentless. Vandergeest maintains his defense. Just taking advantage of that jump he got on the start. And he has led this entire race. All from his brilliant start. By the looks of these cars, I think these tires might be getting a little tired. Let's see if he can pull himself up in the draft here. What happens here? That should be kicking in about now. Here he comes. You can see him closing that gap. Closing that gap. He's going for the inside. Swinging to the outside. Trying to throw John off a little bit there. Oh, I see a little smoke on John's tires. Yeah, a little bit of mistake, but Gutierrez also had a little bit of wide action on that. So tit for tat on that one, and Vandergeest maintains the lead. Just into the twisties. Pablo's holding a decent gap for 3rd place in this sense. Let's check on Tony and see where he's at after his pit stop. He has set the new fastest pit lap time. Tony's, you can see 1:28.702. As he's coming up on LaBelle. putting the pressure on 5th place after his pit stop. Oh, his lapel goes wide, and it looks like a little bit of contact, maybe just a hair. I think everybody got out of that clean. I'm sure the tires are getting tired. Tony, being on fresh tires, is going to be able to make his way through the field here. So there he moves up into 5th, and see what we got going on here. I am guessing that both of these guys are probably going to pit at the same time. I think if one guy sees John goes in, then Johnny is as well going to go in. I'm not sure it could be racing the pits. I'm just seeing a little bit of smoke coming off of those tires. There's some hard braking into turn 1 there. As this battle just continues. Gutierrez just applying the pressure. Vandergeest just taking it. Defending beautifully into these turns. Really holding that position well. He stretches his legs a little bit there. Let's check on Pablo. He's got a 3-second gap to Johnny. It looks like he's cruising by himself there in 3rd, but not a lot of pressure. Paul back and forth. Wait, with Tony sneaking up on him here. Tony with those fresh tires, he's going to have the advantage on these cars. It's going to be pit time here pretty soon, I think, for these guys. Meanwhile, back down the main straight. Vandergeest defending yet again, another charge of swing. It's Gutierrez dashing to the inside. Vandergeest defending beautifully, hard on the brakes. Gutierrez kind of slingshotting out of that apex there. He took that turn pretty good. He maintained some momentum there. He might have a run as they head up into the twisty section. Vandergeest holding the inside line, keeping that advantage as they get into the tarmac. John seems to be able to stretch himself a little bit here. You know, Johnny likes to slide that car around a little bit. It might be hurting him here. The tires might be getting a little bit tired. It looks like Tony Levite has made his way past Upham now, putting himself in 4th place. So the pit stops are going to be crucial. Oh, we have a little bit of a power slide there by Paul. I think he's maintained. Yep, he kept it on track. Nice job, Paul. No, probably took a little air off his car on the pass there. Back to the leaders. Johnny likes to swing that thing to the outside. He's getting some... Oh, he's cleared the pass on the outside, but can't hold it with the apex as John maintains his position on that inside of the apex there, taking the shorter route. Johnny had the momentum, though. I think that's where he's going to try and make his move. He's been trying it and trying it. Let's check the gap on Pablo Tony here. He's got 5 seconds to make up to catch Tony back. And Pablo just kind of maintaining. All right, back to the leaders. These guys got to be running low on fuel and rubber. 21 minutes left. Just watch this car coming up in the graph. It's going to be an out-braking maneuver, I think, that's going to decide the outcome of this battle. guys got to be thinking about pit stops and who's going to pit first and will they pit together. We shall wait and see. Oh, looks like LaBelle has received a penalty. Maybe a track penalty. That's all he needs now is a penalty. He's maintaining a race. You just got to stay in this thing. So unfortunate that he got that penalty. We'll have to see what it is. These guys are just duking it out. I have a feeling, though, the way that Tony is doing lap times, I think he has fastest laps still, that when these guys pit, they might be coming out behind Tony. We will have to wait and see. You can see Pablo just in the back there, just maintaining that gap. He's running a great race. He's keeping his pace. He's probably taking care of his rubber. As he's heading into the pits now. So Pablo is pitting. He's getting some fresh rubber now. That's probably going to put Tony ahead of him, because these guys just keep duking it out. It just has 10 seconds. Yep. Vandergeest maintaining that inside line, just nothing Gutierrez can do but take that outside, you know, circumference. It's Tony inherits third place via the pit stop of Pablo. And I think Pablo's coming out of the pits now. Yep, he's out of the pits now. All right. We have to get some speed. Okay, Gutierrez is coming into the pits, leaving Vandergeest out there by himself. So John's going to have to think now, what am I going to do? Calavite has the undercut on both of these guys. Let's see if it pays off. He is about 20 seconds off, so depending on the pit stop time here. Let's see where Tony's at. Oh yeah, he's coming around the last turn here, so he is going to get himself back into second place, just like we thought. As you can see, Gutierrez in the pits there to the right. Tony is going to have a little bit older rubber than both these guys pitting early, so I can see Johnny coming out now. Just out of view is Calavite, so he's got a gap to make up there. 6 seconds ahead of Pablo. But let's see what you can see him. Man, I can just barely see him up there ahead. Let's see where Vandergeest is, if he's going to decide to come in for his pit stop now. He's got just about 29 seconds on second place, so if he can get in and out, it's going to be tough. Like I said, I think Tony is going to be leading this race after these pit stops. But will the rubber hold out? And here comes John now. So here we go. We shall see. Making sure not to speed in the pits. You do not want a penalty right now. All right. And here comes Tony down the back straight, heading into the main straight, coming up on the hairpin. And you can see Gutierrez just in the back there, about a 10-second gap. Here comes Tony. Should be able to see John in the pits. Did he get it done? I don't see Vandergeest's car yet. There he is. Still, here he comes now. Okay. About the same gap that Gutierrez had on him. So now, a little bit of spread out. We're going to see how pace comes into play. And let's see where Johnny and Vandergeest are going to be battling out. They came out, these guys, so within a lap of each other pitted, came out in the same position they went pit in on. But Vandergeest holding Gutierrez off. Now these guys got fresh rubber, a little bit fresher than Tony's, but can they match Tony's pace to actually get a shot at catching him? You can see him just in the foreground there. I don't know if they'll give us a gap to him. Maybe if I focus on Vandergeest here, it'll give us a gap to Tony. Nope, just gaps to each other. So it looks 12 seconds. Let's see if the official timeline has him up here. It'll show it to us. Yeah, +8. There you have the scrolling. So now, these guys battling out, is this going to slow them down to where Tony can just run away? I think it's going to depend on Tony's state of his tires. If he can maintain his pace. He's got that gap. He's got about a 13-second gap on second and third place. So let's see. And just looking out of the back of Tony, those guys are not in sight anywhere. Got that 13-second gap over John. And here we go again with Gutierrez going for that outside. He is relentless on that. He's just waiting for that to pay off as we're just under the 15-minute mark here. This entire race has been a great battle. Oh, Gutierrez goes to the inside. Oh, we have a track cut situation. Holy smokes, Johnny. Oh, this is going to give Vandergeest a little bit of room. A little bit of room to stretch his legs. Were his tires a little cold maybe to make that move? Probably not. They had a couple laps, but I think with Gutierrez's pace, he'll be able to get back up. But now he's going to have to go through Pablo as Pablo inherits third place. Pablo staying patient, just maintaining his race, finds himself on the podium with just under 14 minutes to go. So if he can maintain, he's having a little bumpy road there too. So you can see these cars are a handful at this track. It's just a series of S's on that infield. It's got to be just crazy on these guys. Let's get that. I'm going to get to show the speed of these cars when they hit that hairpin. All right, let's check on the gap. Is Vandergeest slowing the gap at all? No. So John is about 2 seconds a lap slower, almost 2.5. So we'll have to see. Well, Vandergeest. Where's Tony now? Or Johnny? What happened to Johnny? Oh, he's back in the pits. Did he get a flat spot? I bet you he flat spotted his tires. So Johnny now having to make 2 stops. He might have got a penalty. I don't think so. I didn't see any penalty flags. I'll bet he got a flat spot, and there's no way he could get around it. So that puts Pablo in a firm third position. As you can see him just out of the other section of the track there. So Pablo's patience and consistency could pay off on the podium for him here with just about 12 minutes left in this race. As you can see by the timings too, Talavite is increasing his gap. It was 12, it was 13, now it's up to 17. So I think unless Tony makes a mistake, this is going to be his race to win. John, who led 3/4 of this race, you know, but Tony got him on the undercut, paid off, and then his pace. John 17 seconds behind. All right, Let's see where Pablo is. 4-second gap to Vandergeest in second. So this could get interesting. And Johnny's got 24 seconds. That little mishap cost him. So it's unfortunate for Johnny, who is leading the series at this point. So we'll have to see how the points pan out at the end of this. So we're all pretty spread out here with about 10 minutes left. Nothing but clear skies. Oh, we've got Tony, the leader, in the wall. I wasn't quick enough on the replay there. I'm kind of curious to see what happened to Tony there. Let's see if we can back it up here. Let's get our... There's our custom instant replay. We're going to see what happened to Tony here. From the lead, with that 17-second lead, it looks like he lost it coming out of the turn. Here we go. We'll get to see exactly what happened now. Yep, it was turn one. It's as simple as that. A little slow-mo. Wow, just off into the wall. Boom! Spun him around. Wow, that cost him dearly. Wow. Okay. Let's see where that puts John's gap now. Let's see what the gap. Yeah. It cost him about 10 to 10 seconds there. The gap is only 8 and closing down to 8 now. Vandergeest has a chance if Tony has damage. You can see the gap's going the wrong way, but it looks like he's maintaining. Let's check the speed here. Look at that. Look at that. He's freeway speeds through those turns. 55 miles an hour to that hairpin. $148, $150 down the straight. And you can see Vandergeest in the mirror there. Got the gap down to 5 seconds. Can we see him up there? From John's on board. You just barely see him up there. Now it all depends if Tony has any damage at all. John might be able to close that gap. It's holding pretty steady at 4 seconds. Just over almost 5. So I don't see Tony in view yet of him. There he is. All right, John, I think smells blood in the water. He's increasing that gap back to 9 seconds though, so I don't know. guess I had that wrong. That was probably the gap to Pablo that was 4 seconds. Yeah, that was the Pablo gap. My bad. But still, Tony lost a good 10 seconds there, losing it into turn 1. Let's see what we're looking at here. We have just 6 minutes left in this race. As you see the gap between second and third there. Check that gap. It's holding that 9 and 8 seconds there as he heads into the turns, and he maintains the hairpin heading into the tarmac part. So it appears that Tony's car is okay. He seems to maintain that gap as he just puts that thing sideways through these turns. These cars are so much fun. As we reach the 5-minute mark, oh, a little bounce to your step there. And they don't see too many close battles going on at this point in time. I think it's just going to be who can make it to the end without hitting anything. You can see Vandergeest back there. Vandergeest keeping that gap to Pablo. And unfortunately, Balazs was not here to defend his 4th place position with Pablo, so this is going to put Pablo way up in the standings. Five-second gap. Let's check on Johnny, see where he's at. He's just gonna finish this race in one piece, I guess, after having to make that pit stop. I'm curious, we'll have to ask him afterwards. I'll bet he had a flat spot after that, going sideways through that turn. Let's see how Paul's doing. And that awesome number 3, maintaining 5th place. And LaBelle still in it, so at least everyone who started is still in the race, so that's got to count for something. These guys are going to get good points out of this. This consistency and patience pays off. And Gutierrez is a lap ahead, so Paul and Michael are both a lap down, but still going to maintain some decent points in that nice red number 9 Toyota Titan. Licensing wants to call it. He's probably getting a blue flag, but not really an issue here. Johnny's not going to push him. When it's time, I'm sure he'll let him by. So let's see what's happening up here with 2nd and 3rd. Going back to Vandergeest. Well, it's increased his gap by about a second or so on Pablo. So we're coming up on the 2-minute mark here. As you can see Tony right ahead there. You can see the difference. One cool thing about this track is you can see the other sectors of the track. It's such a tight, knit little area. They used to close this thing off every year to have these races. It all started in '95 with Indy cars. Yep. And Tony's just increased his gap ever so slightly. So without any incident, I think we've got our finishing order here with just over a minute to go in beautiful Alberta, Canada. You can see the skies are clear. Like I said, it never rains in Canada. Just like it never rains in Washington. Let's get a lap at pace here with Tony. Just see the walls. See this little, you straight line these little S sections here. It's really a fun track to do laps at. Let's get the current speed here. It's like 66, 70, you know, freeway speed through these sections. So imagine going 80 miles an hour in your street car through these turns. Oh, as he loses it a little bit there, into it, down to 14 seconds. This could be the last lap of the race. I wanted to see what they slow down to. About 150, hard on the brakes, into the last turn. Over the curbs at 40. Oh. And here he comes. To cross the line is going to be your winner. Tony Talavite takes round 4 in Canada. So the undercut pays off for Tony. A great run. Coming in second place here comes Vandergeest across the line. A brilliant race by John. It was the pit stops that made the difference. I'm telling you, Tony, I'm wondering what would happen if they all went in together. Because John was maintaining himself. And congratulations to Pablo for a great third place finish. Great job, Pablo. Consistently held on. He did a good job. And Johnny, even though his events taking him off track, cost him probably a podium, he still comes in 4th place. Decent race as the boys go completely berserk. And there is your winner. There is your winner. Woohoo! Great job, guys. So there you have it. Coming up next race will be March 18th at Watkins Glen. Don't miss it. And don't forget, tomorrow we have the multi-class at Fuji. It's going to also be live broadcasts. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Sim Racing Online, the home of virtual motorsports. We'll be back for round 5.